YouTube? We are back with some more Matchplay commentary for y'all. I'm joined by the Brother Bear, the Highwayman himself, TJ.
If card sleeves had feelings, do you think it'd be like it'd be? I can't. Never mind.
To be continued. To be continued.
Maybe
off
I'll
camera.
I'll tell you
Maybe off camera. But we got some matches that were filmed over at Dean's Dugout for y'all. For those of you who don't know, Dean's is the local card shop that we go to every Sunday for Digimon. We start at about 12:30 p.m. every Sunday. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, want to check out a shop in Naperville, Illinois, come check them out and come swing by and hang out with us too while you're at it. But today's matchup features Jorel, our very own on the left, playing Skadimon. A little different flavor from the usual red that Jorel is used to. Going up against Guther, who's playing sort of the, I wouldn't call it traditional, but I think sort of the way that Bandai intended Emperor Grey to be played, with the new like tamer support with like the multicolored stuff. And he's been doing really well with it. I think last weekend he took locals and he's been doing some nice stuff with it. So it should be an interesting matchup. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Check out our socials, which are linked down in the video description below, as well as instructions on how to become a member. And lastly, hit that like and subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. Without further ado, let's hop right into this round over here.
Like when you snap a card down, is it? No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyways, we see Guther start. He gets a BT7 Flamemon in the back, drops a BT17 Flamemon on the board, gets some search going. I did not see what he picked up. I was looking away.
I think it was a Kaze. And then Jorel drops a blue mem boost, reveals top 4. We'll pick up, looks like the EX-07 Chris Pale Dramon, I believe. Yeah, EX-07 Chris Pale.
Dude, those mem boosts look so good, bro.
They do.
They look so clean.
They are very clean. And we go into a Pale Dramon in the back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So a Goonie swing
here.
Interesting.
Check does go bye-bye. Can get a tamer out of it. Drops that's the 17 Takuya. Then gets a Flamemon suspended. Can pitch 1, draw 2.
It's gonna be interesting here because, I mean, as a hybrid deck, right, like Guther will rely not just on inheritables. If you happen to have your tamer underneath and you get source stripped, you do lose the tamer, which with the new hybrid support, that was sort of the big mantra of like, if you got deleted, at least your inheritable allowed you to play out the tamer back, so you got that recursion. So it's gonna be interesting to see how we play around that. So we see I believe it's a Polar Bear mod?
Yeah, it's Polar Bear. And then we'll make it so that the Aguni cannot suspend and cannot activate when Digivolving effects.
It's pretty good.
As long as there's no sources on Digimon when they evo, they get to do that little thing. Jorel does have the ability to give Sec -1 off of the Penguinmon. To Digimon with no sources, I believe. And then I'm not sure. I don't remember what the Paledra does.
The Paledra just strips stop card when attacking.
Okay, gotcha. So we go Scotty. Scotty at Evo can play a level 4 lower Digimon with the Ice Snow trait. But for each Digimon that does not have evolution sources, I believe it can play 1 level more.
Yeah. We technically could have played out we just played out a Frigi there. We ended up choking to 1. And then Guther gains 1 off of the Takuya. It's nice to see that a lot of these, like Venus was sort of the big card that we had before, right? That did a lot of these can't activate when Digivolving effects. It's nice to see some of these inherits that allow you to do that as well. Guther swung, hit a boost. But it's interesting, right? Cross is getting that too with the new Jaeger Darulumon, which I think is going to be really nice. And I'm excited for the new cross support. And I think there's other cards too in 2.5 that kind of have that inheritable / like on play effect that don't allow you to proc on Evo effects, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's nice to have other forms of control.
So we see Guther go straight up the line. We go into an Alda off of the Burning Gray swing, and then it lived going into an Emperor Grey now to pop Jorel Scotty. And Scotty got beamed right up, and we got to start back from the beginning.
Yeah, Rio was saying this too, and I agree with it. I do think it's kind of crazy because like Pyramidi made out with like Fragment, has an option card that can keep it safe, like all the stuff like that, yada yada, right?
Right.
Or has an option card that can give a DP and keep it from being bounced. Dynamon has protection from Digivolve and Bounce, and also has Fortitude, so it can get played back out and punish opponents for deleting it. And then they were like, Scotty, Barrier. Barrier. And it's like, this, like, I don't know, man. It's fine. It's just, it really feels like it should have had some other form of protection.
Right.
Like DP reduction protection would have made perfect sense in my opinion. I feel like. I get the idea is like, oh yeah, we can give sec -1 and we can do this, we can do that. You can stop one digivolving effects, yada yada. But like, it's all super reactive for a deck that does not cheat memory very like easily, and also does not push much like the craziest aggression on its own. So when you compare that to decks nowadays that can like push up and swing for 4 or 5 checks just off of just their raising, it's tough to come back from.
Yeah, so Jorel went into another Skadimon, played out a Beluga, and then was able to tuck it into security off of its effect, I believe. Oh dear. Yeah, so we see Guther go straight into an Atomic, hitting an Inferno and a Training, hits a Beluga, and then we go for game. But yeah, to your point, it does, yeah, I think they gave it Ice Clad, which is pretty neat. You know, that's definitely a nice mechanic that definitely buffs up Source Strip a lot. I think that definitely was something that helped keep it somewhat viable. But I agree, like, it just, even Hexablow, right? As good of a card as it is, like, it's very vulnerable to DP reduction, very vulnerable to option cards, deletion effects, Digivolve. Like, it's just a very like glass cannon, you know. It does a lot, but it's so easily dealt with. Like the amount of times I got a Hexablow out thinking I was fine, and then like Ancient Grey comes out and just says bye-bye.
Which, like, to be fair, Hexablow is a very powerful card, but I think, like, I don't know, maybe it's crazy to me, but I think like one type of protection is not bad. Like, protect it from Digivolve, protect it from DP reduction, protect it from like a deletion. I don't know, just give it like one little thing, just one. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to give everything when the Digimon would be deleted, do this to ignore such effect, yada yada, or no, sorry, not deleted, but like when the Digimon would leave play, yada yada, do yada yada to prevent it or whatever. Like, you don't have to give every Digimon that. You don't have to give every Digimon protection from Digimon effects or opponent effects, stuff like that. Just give them just little, just ounces of protection so that maybe they have a good matchup here and there.
So we see Guther just setting up. He's got the Aguni in the back, Search of Flamon to pick up a Takuya. We go Frigi with a Training. On Evo, we gained a Memory. And then looks like we're going to go into a Polar Bearmon for 3. We'll make it so that the Flame cannot suspend. Proc on Evo effects, and we go into another Scotty. And we go ahead and play out a... forget the guy's name. The little wizard, snow wizard guy. Snowmon? I don't know.
Sorcerermon.
Sorcerermon. But, I mean, as we see here, right, almost like to add to your point, right, like, Jorel is consistently able to go up it. Obviously, all decks will brick at some point. Okay, so we see a Zudo Ace here. We strip, bounce the Aguni. But yeah, like, Jorel's been able to consistently get into Scotty. It's just the Scotty never sticks on board because Guther has a way to get rid of it.
Right.
Alright, so we see Guther go into another Aguni, then we go into a Jet Sylphie for 3. Call it a day. So I think Jorel's in a pretty good spot here. No Tamers out on board. We see a second Skadimon come out. And here, I feel like you can kind of start to go a little bit wild with it. Go ahead and swing, strip sources, or strip the top source off of the Beluga effect. We get checked -1. And then we do hit a BT7 Takuya. We swing another with the Scotty, trashing the last source.
Yeah.
Then we go ahead and send it to security since it doesn't have a source. And then we hit a Flamon and live. And we, for 3, play out another pretty Mem boost, and looks like we only have the Sorcerermon to pick up. Call it a day.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Not bad at all. But yeah, I mean, I think Jorel, very well established board state. Guther's just sort of forced to like climb his way back. And it is also a little tougher because with the sort of mishmash of hybrids here, you know, a lot of these Evos could potentially cost a little more than you would like, depending on what is in his hand. So could be a little bit of a difficult spot. But we'll see what he can do.
So he's just thinking about how he wants to proceed.
Yeah. It's interesting how he's kept this deck going. I think a lot of people wanted to toy around with it like at the beginning of 2.0 release, but then realized it was just sort of like, for lack of a better way of putting it, like mid.
Yeah.
But he's made it work. He has made it work.
He's been cooking. He's absolutely been cooking on it for sure.
He's also one of our like more calculated players. Like he definitely like is well thought out with his plays. He knows what he's doing. And he's always like thinking a couple steps ahead. So that definitely, I mean, the skill level is definitely there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jorel goes ahead, cracks a boost to start, then goes into the Greymon. Skadi will go ahead and swing. Do one check. Oh gosh, 2 checks actually.
Yeah, it has the second swing.
Yeah.
Polar bear. And we're just swinging. Okay. We're just going for the fences.
Okay, yeah. If we go EX Greymon, you don't have a source. You restand and swing again. Yep. Very nice.
That's pretty good. So Jorel finds an answer there, and we go to game 3.
Very, very good. Look at that. Skadi with a win. Love to see it.
Skadi does I mean, the ability to play out another body is really nice. It does have decent control options. It's just a matter of like, can it see its pieces fast enough and have enough memory to do stuff with it? Because I mean, Skadi's a 3-cost Evo. Which is pretty good. It's not bad. It's just it doesn't. You know, it just plays the game. I think as we like to say, yeah, too fair.
It's also interesting to see how a lot of decks are now just like playing stuff out via effect. You know, like Deep Savers. We've got this. I mean, like we've talked about like Lord Knight, Leviah, yada yada yada. You know, but there's so many decks now that just like to play things out via effect. It's crazy. Like board states are getting very, very wild now. Start game 3 with Jorel going into a Greymon in the back, and then we go for 2. Or, never mind. 3, we drop a Searcher Baluku. We do get 2 hits because you can pick up an Ice Snow and something with Hexablow or Paildramon in names. We pick up a Hexablow and a Polar Bearmon, which is pretty good. Double hits, always good value. That's tough. You do get the Tamer out, but having to drop it out for the full 5 is always a little rough. And with Hexablow out on the field, that Tamer may not be there for very long, as we're going to see very shortly. We do swing 1 check with... Okay. Well, at least one of them's going away.
Guther's gonna go and push up.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we get the Tamer.
All right.
And that Hexablow is, to be honest, terrifying. Like if he gets the sources stripped off of that, like that's a lot of checks that can come out.
Yeah, because that's gonna be 3 checks. Does not have jamming, but I mean 3 checks at 12 is still pretty significant, especially in a hybrid deck with a lot of Tamers.
A lot of Tamers, a lot of level 4s. You can get through that. Something you can absolutely do.
Okay, so we go Alda, and then, yep, fair enough.
Yeah, Emperor, pop it, clear it.
And speaking of Glass Cannon, there it is.
A turn we can swing. Does do his 2 checks.
Zip living.
Pass back over to Jorel.
Right. So I think we're debating if we want to crack the scramble here, and it looks like we will, so that we can put the Hexablow to top of deck. Or not? No, it was a Polar Bear. Or Frigi. It was a Frigimon.
He draws a Frigi, so he's like, dang it, I didn't need to do that.
Strip 2 sources off of the Frigi effect. Where do you go from here? It is tough because I mean you don't really have a good way to save turn. Dropping the Tommy is not bad here. I think you just get rid of the sources, get rid of the tamer. Still, Emperor Grey will still do 2 checks, but like you still buy yourself a turn.
Crazy. Okay, so Jorel has a crazy thought here, which is exactly what I was thinking. So if he swings with Polar Bear here, he can go ahead and shred the one source off of the Emperor. Does a check, does live, which allows him to go into Polar Bear. Polar Bear will we'll choke to 1, we'll strip the rest of the sources, and then we can give something can't suspend and can't activate when digivolving effects.
So that's not bad either. That's not bad. Choke to 1. You definitely...
Honestly, massive.
Yeah, you definitely slow... Or not Jorel. You slow Guther down a little bit.
Right now, that Goonie's the only thing they can swing.
And there's no tamer out either, which is...
Right, exactly.
It's huge.
You got the whole 1 choke out of it. Like, it's good. It's just solid.
Looks like we are just gonna push aggression with the Aguni. Oh no.
Bramble's really good hit right now. Yeah, Penguin hits the board as the hand.
Now, I mean, oof. Yeah, I mean, that could just be enough to...
And Penguinmon, does he only reduce his own evo cost, or does he reduce evo cost of the board in general?
I believe it's its own evo cost, but I'm not too familiar.
So I know what, like, the Kokabu,
or
whatever, like, reduces a cost of, like, when this Digimon or any of your tamers would digivolve. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is really good for Jorel here. You can just go ahead and swing. You only really need one of them to live. So that one does die.
With the sec -2 on it, it looks like.
And then now you can just go scramble into a Crisp Pail. And then go ahead, restand swing.
That's it for game.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Really
Love to see it. Well done.
Yeah, I think there's I think a lot of people maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for this. I feel like this is what I just see most often is I think a lot of people tend to tunnel vision scrambles for 6s to cheapen their cost, but if you just if you make the 5 cheap enough sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes it's really good. Certain decks can play off of their ultimates very well.
I mean, I think I'm gonna give Mirage. I have to bring it up, right? I mean, like Wonkun into scramble into a Wonkun, essentially make that evo cost for free, or for 1, right? Because you get 1 memory off of the Buka. It's pretty dang good. So yeah, definitely. And scrambles are very, very flexible. Sometimes like evoing into a level 4. Like I've seen people do it just to get the scramble out, and then they can use that to like cycle next turn. Obviously, it's not the most ideal place to play it, right? Like just getting a scramble to pick up stuff from trash and using your trash as like a second hand, which is what Purple loves to do, and which is also why I think Purple has done really well in this meta, is that you have just access to more consistency, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm getting distracted. Thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And hopefully we catch you on that next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.